Oh, yeah.
But I want to get to our list for the day. Our top 10 list for today, Sam, with the draft coming up, is the top 10 biggest bust in the last 5 years in the NFL draft. I tried to keep it a little bit closer, more relevant. Some people you may remember. Now, I say doing this, there is some issues with a lot of these guys are still playing. The jury's still out. A lot of these guys, especially the guys who were drafted last year, the guys who were rookies last year, they could still come back and play. Most of these guys could still have a productive career and prove me completely wrong. And if on the very off chance any of these guys ever see this list, please prove me wrong. Please. I'm not rooting against anybody. I just think it's funny that some of these teams drafted guys that it didn't work out. So this is a list of, I don't wish anybody ill will, but at the same point, stats are stats, and what happened is what happened. So we do that. I also want to put these are all first round picks. I cut off because it gets a little bit more muddy and what is what expected of a second and third round pick. So there are some guys like Dorial Green-Beckham, who is a huge bust as a second round pick, basically getting busted for weed stuff. He hasn't really played any. He was an early second round pick for the Titans. Roberto Aguayo was a second round pick for a kicker, and he couldn't even stay on the team. So you're taking a kicker. It's like, this will be the kicker of our franchise for the next one, and he's not. So guys like that, but they're second rounders, so they're not on the list. But Sam, are you ready for the top 10 draft busts in the NFL for the last 5 years?
I'm too hyped for this stuff, man. I love hearing about people's misfortunes, and this is like right up my alley. Especially on today of all days, we're going to start talking about people getting.
There is a controversial too. So if you don't agree, tell us on Insinserious or tell us on our YouTube channel. Tell us if you do not agree with these picks or if you have another bust from the last 5 years. We'll start off number 10, N'Keal Harry, drafted 2019 as the 32nd pick, last pick of the first round. He was drafted out of Arizona State to the New England Patriots. So he's the first wide receiver taken by the Patriots since 1996. They drafted Terry Glenn in 1996 in the first round. They have not drafted a wide receiver since then. They pick him. He gets an ankle injury early in training camp. Kind of it ruins the beginning of a season. He plays 8 games. He just has okay. He goes 12 for 24. He gets 12 catches out of 24 targets. He catches for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nothing special. And really, the problem is this is a team that desperately needed wide receivers, desperately needed catching. You have Tom Brady still as your quarterback, one of the greatest quarterbacks, or if not the greatest player of all time in the NFL. And this, you still can't really do anything on it. Get the injury, and he looked better as the season went on. So N'Keal Harry may still have a great career. He may, but now he doesn't even have Tom Brady in New England anymore. And so if you get another year on there, and the Patriots try and sell you because they're not sold on you, if Bill Belichick doesn't like what happens this next year, if you couldn't make it work with Tom Brady, and then you're going to whoever New England ends up playing at quarterback this year, it might be difficult. It might be difficult to come back.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough year for them, man. Especially, like you said, starting out injury prone, that's never easy to come back from, even if you are like an incredible player. And middle to the bottom of the barrel kind of player, it's not really looking good.
Number 9 pick, Terrell Edmunds. Another 2018 draft. He was the 28th pick. He's a safety out of Virginia Tech. He goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He kind of just comes out. He started for 2 years. He has started as a safety, but not great numbers. He's only had 1 interception in his first 2 seasons, and just not a lot of tackles. Not really doing much. But if you see where the Steelers fans talk about him, and you see Pro Football Focus is graded as the 66th best safety in football.
Really?
So if we look at that, and they say there's 32 teams and 2 starting safeties a team, he is the best backup. He's pretty much the best backup safety you're going to get in the NFL, which is not great for a first-round pick.
Right. Wow. Yeah, no, that's rough, man. That's rough. God, those numbers too are gross.
Yeah, and it's just he's been a guy who doesn't have the speed. He doesn't quite have all the pieces there. He may turn it around. I'm not thinking so. If he does, it'll probably be with a different team. But Terrell Edmunds, Pittsburgh Steelers safety, is our number 9. Number 8, another one from recent, so we don't know. Number 8, Titus Howard, the 2019 23rd pick overall, offensive tackle out of Alabama State to the Houston Texans. Now, this one is probably just because I'm a bitter Texans fan. But the Texans, everyone knows they need a left tackle. Everyone knows they need a left tackle. Everyone knows they're going to pick Andre Dillard. They want Andre Dillard with this pick. And I will say, Andre Dillard did not have a great season with the Philadelphia Eagles. He had an okay one, not a great one. But they need a left tackle to start day one. Andre Dillard is the clear choice for that pick. Titus Howard is a project. The Eagles trade up to the pick before the Texans because the Texans refuse to trade up for the pick. And you're watching as it going, and you're going, please just trade up 4 or 5 picks and get your guy. They do not trade up. They do not get Andre Dillard. They end up getting Titus Howard. Howard plays in 8 games before a knee injury, pretty much. He gets hurt after 7 games, I believe. Comes back and then re-injures the knee, and they take him out. So he starts at right tackle. He starts at left guard. Has an okay season at best, but he's supposed to be a left tackle. The Texans then have to trade 2 first-round picks then after this to go get Laramie Tunsil to play left tackle. So that's you're basically trying to, and you're when you bring a guy into camp, and this is your number 23 overall pick, and you end up having to then immediately trade 2 first-rounders to fill the position that he's supposed to be playing. It is not a good look for you to start your career. Then the injury does not help. A knee injury when you're a fresh or a rookie in the NFL is not a good thing to try and overcome when you are going to be pounding your knees for the rest of your career as an offensive lineman. He's still got a ton of potential. He's supposed to be a potential pick, but not looking great for Titus Howard as our number 8 biggest bust of the last 5 years in the NFL draft. Number 7, sticking on the offensive line, Eric Flowers, 2015 9th overall pick, is an offensive tackle out of Miami to the New York Giants. And the problem with him is since 2015, he's given up 169 total pressures, which is the most of any tackle in the NFL during that time.
I believe it. Jesus, man.
Pretty much players have come out and said that he's quitting on the team. He's quitting on plays that he's, he gets beat, doesn't have good, basically doesn't have good fundamentals. So when he gets beat, he just pretty much lets the guy go and kill his quarterback. He ends up getting cut from the Giants after 3 years, goes to the Jaguars, plays okay, goes to Redskins, plays okay, and he has just ended up in the Miami Dolphins now. He's been a guy that for the 9th overall pick, a top 10 pick, you're expected to do a lot more. And while he's playing, the fact that people are saying that he is not finishing plays is a big, big red flag for anyone picked at that lane.
Such a big part of the game is mentality, man. And once you're not in it mentally, you're not going to do well in it physically at all.
Yeah. Our number 6 overall pick, John Ross, the number 9 pick in 2017 from Washington. The wide receiver goes to the Cincinnati Bengals. A couple wide receivers that were picked after John Ross, Juju Smith-Schuster, Chris Goodwin, Kenny Golladay, all have gone to Pro Bowls. He comes out his rookie season. He's competing. They're going like he's going to be the number 2 guy behind AJ Green. He's going to be the number 2 guy. He's competing for it. He gets named the 6th wide receiver on the depth chart. So going for 2 ends up at 6th. Not a good start for him. He ends up his rookie season. He has 1 carry, so he doesn't even get a catch. He gets a couple targets in a game. He gets like a wider end. They give him a ball on a carry. He goes 12 yards and fumbles the ball.
Hell yeah!
That is his only time he touched the ball his rookie season.
But he got paid.
But he gets pulled off there. He picked things up his second season. A lot of people were blaming this on Marvin Lewis, saying that he wasn't handled well. He picked up. He had over 500 yards and 3 TDs in his third year. But up to this point, basically his third year is his only decent year. His first year was a complete waste. And this Bengals team needs somebody with most likely Joe Burrow coming to the team this weekend. I don't know, though. This is not a good look for you when you're the 9th overall pick at wide receiver, that your rookie season has one touch and you fumble the ball. You gave the ball away. Not a good look.
For a negative outcome.
Number 5, the 2017 3rd pick overall, Solomon Thomas, defensive end from Stanford, goes to San Francisco 49ers. And so this one is a weird one because Solomon Thomas going to Stanford basically takes an internship. It's not called an internship, but he was working with Fox Broadcasting, which John Lynch, who became the general manager for the 49ers, he's working there as well. So he already knew the guy. And he goes, oh, he's a great player. He's a super smart guy. He's going to be perfect. He'll be a perfect fit. So they take him 3rd overall, and he only started 3 games last year.
Wow.
His 3rd year, not a good thing. He's only got 6 sacks in his first 3 seasons. And this is what really kills you if you're a San Francisco 49ers fan. He is the 5th highest paid player on the San Francisco 49ers this season.
What?
Yeah, because he's a 3rd overall pick. So if you want to talk about a bust, this guy's hurting your team with the salary cap hurt, and he's also just not even really playing much. Now, this team could find a hole for him and get him play, but with only 6 sacks in 3 years, I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah. And if you're not even really playing him that much, he's not getting any reps, so he's not getting any better. Like, do you really want to play that guy?
Exactly. Number 4, Corey Coleman, the 2016 15th overall pick from Baylor to Cleveland. A couple wide receivers picked after him: Will Fuller, Sterling Shepard, and Michael Thomas. The great Michael Thomas from what team is that, Sam? Would that be the New Orleans Saints?
I don't know. Would it
be the New Orleans Saints? It would be the New Orleans Saints. You should know these things. Hand injury basically was set him back his first 2 seasons. He comes up his first season, injures his hand. It gets put on IR. Comes back second season, another hand injury, same hand, cuts him off again. So this is the problem. So he plays for the Browns for 2 seasons. He comes back. He's not even getting first-round reps. He's basically being treated as a bust at this point. So he demands a trade. When you are the 15th overall pick, and 2 years later you are traded for a 7th-round pick. So in 2 years, you went from 1st to 7th. That is not a good look for you. He goes to the Bills. He gets cut from the Bills. He goes to the Patriots. He gets cut from the Patriots. He lands on the Giants, and then doesn't have a very good season, tears his ACL, out for another season, and he's still on the Giants roster. He signed another year deal, so he has a potential to come back and play. But Corey Coleman, ouch, not a good start when you go from 1st-round pick to 7th-round pick. Number 3, we are starting to get into the fun ones now. Number 3, Paxton Lynch, the 2016 26 overall pick from Memphis. The quarterback goes to the Denver Broncos. The Broncos trade up to get him. They say, we got to get our guy, Paxton Lynch. We got to get him. They give up a 3rd rounder and their 1st-round pick. So they trade up 5 picks and give up a 3rd rounder to get him. He has started only 4 games in 2 years.
Wow.
He completed 29 passes, has 4 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. He got benched for Trevor Siemian. He got benched for Brock Osweiler. He never made any sort of impact. Gets eventually cut from the Broncos. He goes make the practice squad for Seattle, makes a practice squad for Pittsburgh, and makes a Pittsburgh roster solely because they had like 4 quarterback injuries last year. But he's not even played in the league, played a snap in the last 2 years. This is a guy traded up for 26 overall pick, Paxton Lynch. Just to let you know, Dak Prescott gets taken in the 4th round of that draft. So wow, you could have waited. You could have waited, and in the third round, you could have taken your guy instead of trading up. That pick you traded to get him, you could have got another guy at first, and the pick you traded gotten Dak Prescott and had a better luck than Paxton Lynch.
You think he still brags about it? You think I got picked before Dak Prescott?
No. I think he will when he gets older, but right now it's a little fresh.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Oh, you mean the guy who's about to sign a gigantic contract? Where's your contract? Ooh, they still owe me money. But number 2, Kevin White, the 2015 7th pick overall wide receiver out of West Virginia, goes to the Chicago Bears. He suffers a stress fracture in practice before his first season, so he misses his entire rookie season. He gets back, plays 4 games the next year, breaks his leg again. Same leg, man. Breaks it again. He's got a steel bar in it, breaks it again. His 3rd season opener, he comes out, ready to go. 3rd season, this is the charm. Breaks his shoulder on the first game, out for the season. He has not come back. He has not been able to come back. This is a 7th overall pick. He ended his career so far, unless he comes back, with 4 catches for 92 yards for a 7th overall pick.
It's got to be some kind of record, right?
It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
And our number 1 overall pick, Josh Rosen, the 2018 10th overall pick from UCLA. The quarterback goes to the Arizona Cardinals. He kind of came in. They take him 10th overall, but they say, we're not going to start him right away. This whole thing when they go, I know we're terrible. We need a quarterback. And we draft this guy to take over, but we're not going to play him right away. And then, of course, they have to. So he gets on the field in game 3, throws for 36 yards and interception. But they still say, you know what? You're doing better than what we have. So they name a starter in week 4. In week 7, he has 2 of his 3 picks returned for a touchdown. He throws for 11 TDs and 13 picks in 13 games with the Cardinals. So he's not winning games. He goes 3-10 as a starter. Just kind of a bad quarterback. And you go, it's a bad team. I get it. But if you're throwing way more picks than touchdowns, I don't care how many yards you have. You got to throw touchdowns. And if you're not getting touchdowns, you're not getting in the end zone. You're not getting really down to where they can run the ball in either. This is not going to help you. And so this is the problem is they give up on him after 1 year. 1 year. Wow. They draft Kyler Murray and immediately trade him away, and they get a second-round pick back. So they go, all right, we'll move down. We went from the 10th pick to a second-round pick. Miami takes him. Miami then – this is why Josh Rosen's number 1 on my list, because he is a bust for 2 different NFL franchises. He's a bust for the Cardinals, goes to Miami. All right, well, we learned from Arizona. We're not going to put him in right away. He gets put in a couple weeks after Ryan Fitzpatrick's not doing well. He starts week 3, and he starts 3 games as a starter. He throws 1 touchdown and 5 interceptions, and then he is benched. And that's it.
Wow,
and that is the last he has played. He's still, I believe, on the Miami Dolphins roster, but if they're going to then take a quarterback in this draft coming up, he most likely will not see the field as a Miami Dolphin ever again. And then this is the one that kills you is the guy, quarterback that went after. This is not a quarterback-heavy draft, by the way. I think Baker Mayfield's in this draft who hasn't had a great career yet. Not a lot of great quarterbacks in this draft, but there is one guy in this draft that was picked after him. Last year's MVP, Lamar Jackson, was picked after.
Wow.
And when you go Kyler Murray the next year, and you could have had Lamar Jackson, should have just taken Lamar Jackson. Should have just. I know he's just a running guy. He doesn't have the arm. What happens when you take the guy who has the arm in Josh Rosen? He throws a lot of picks.
I can't wait to see the movie made out of Josh Rosen's life where he just goes around and disappoints different franchises. There's no happy ending in the movie.
No.
It's just him going around and then being like, it's the big game. Oh, we lost.
And we lost again. There is no big games in this. He's played for the Cardinals and the Dolphins. No big games in this guy's NFL career. That's our list of the top 10 biggest busts in the last 5 years of the NFL draft. Hopefully, no one big busts for any teams you're rooting for in this year's NFL draft. Remember, you can comment on all this on our YouTube channel, which is also at Insinserious, or on your social medias at Insinserious. Let us know who we left off the list, or who's wrong, who should not be on the list. I'm sure there's Patriots fans who will say N'Keal Harry should definitely not be on your list, but I'm sorry. I tried to get guys from each year in there, and 2019 is pretty hard to find a bust so far. N'Keal Harry didn't have a good rookie year. Sorry, guys.